Whenever you're looking to lose body fat, the most common advice is to start eating clean. The problem is many people actually end up fatter by placing too many restrictions on your diet. So today I'm going to show you why focusing on eating clean is a trap, what I did to go from looking like this to looking like this while eating things like ice cream every day, and what you should do to finally lose the weight for good. So there's many problems with just focusing on eating clean, not the least of which is there's no real definition for it, and if you line up 10 different people, you're going to get 10 different answers. Some people will say you shouldn't eat dairy, other people will say don't eat sugar, some people will say don't eat breads and grains, some people will say don't eat animal products, hell, some people even say don't eat fruit because of sugar, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world. I promise you nobody's ever gotten fat eating raspberries, but I'll talk more about sugar and insulin at the end of this video. At the end of the day, when you want to lose body fat, a calorie deficit is king, and there's many ways to accomplish this, and basically every single diet you know out there that has a name is just a different way to create a calorie deficit. And if you look at all the different diets, many of them are basically polar opposites of each other, yet every single one of them can show several examples of people who've lost weight. And here's what you probably do when you just focus on eating clean. You look at foods as either good or bad. You completely eliminate all your favorite foods. And the problem is, as soon as you tell yourself you can't have something, you're gonna want that thing even more. And when you do inevitably have it again, because let's be honest, you're not gonna go the rest of your life without having your favorite foods. And what ends up happening? Now you feel like, well, I've screwed things up anyways, so what's the point? Now you binge on it endlessly, trying to get as much in as you possibly can before you have to go back on your diet again. Now you beat yourself up, you feel even worse. Now that one day starts turning into several days, and you just snowball from there, and sometimes it takes weeks, months, sometimes even years to get yourself back on track again. And the thing is, you should never feel guilty about food. Food does not have morality. There's no reason to feel bad about it. Besides, I promise, there's no food in the world that just makes you fat on its own, much like there's no foods that just all of a sudden make you thin. Hell, there's actually numerous examples of people who have ate quote-unquote bad foods and got great results. A channel named Abs and Ice Cream ate 2,000 calories worth of ice cream every single day for 100 days and lost over 30 pounds. A guy nicknamed the McDonald's Diet Guy lost 56 pounds eating nothing but McDonald's for 6 months, and a professor that got nicknamed the Twinkie Diet Guy ended up losing 27 pounds eating the majority of his diet through junk food like Twinkies and things like that. Now, I'm not suggesting you should fill your diet with a lot of junk food, and these people all said the exact same thing. They weren't saying that they recommended eating like this, they just wanted to show you can include foods you enjoy and see fat loss. And not only did they lose body fat, all of them ended up improving their health markers as well. So with all that, the next question becomes, how do you start incorporating these foods into your diet? How do you keep seeing fat loss including these foods? And the way I did it, and many people do it, they start utilizing a flexible dieting approach. What I would recommend doing is track for the next week if you haven't been tracking, and keep eating the same way you have been, especially if you've been in a deficit and you've been losing weight when you're actually staying on plan. If you track for the next week and then divide those calories by 7 to get your average intake, now you know roughly how many calories you need to consume. And now you can start including some of these foods, just making sure you account for it in your daily calories. The other thing too, by tracking, now you know how much you're eating. And as your body does hit plateaus, which are inevitable, they're gonna happen, now you know how to make some adjustments and keep the process working. Whereas if you're just focusing on eating clean, what are you gonna do when it stops working? You can't exactly eat cleaner, so know how much you're eating, and it makes the process so much simpler. I recommend kind of an 80-20 approach. Don't get too caught up in this. Like, I've had some people really stress out and feel like, well, how do I know exactly 20% of my calories are from foods that aren't nutrient dense? No, don't get caught up in that. The point is, the majority of your food is going to be the nutrient dense foods, and then you're going to allow yourself some other stuff in moderation. This might be a little challenging at first, but as you get used to having these things, especially if you're doing it frequently, even every single day, now you take that stigma away from that food, and now you don't crave it as much. The reason you crave certain foods is because you feel like you can't or shouldn't have that, but if you have it every day, you kind of stop craving it after a while. You can also have some days where you can enjoy some more food by utilizing a refeed strategy, and this is different than a cheat meal approach. I really don't recommend cheat meals. Not that you can't ever have untracked days and have what you want, you certainly can. The biggest problem is you got to make sure you get back on track and not try to make up for it when you do. The problem with the cheat is, one, just by saying that you're cheating, you implying that you're doing something wrong, and then you feel bad about it. But two, you have no clue how much you're eating. It can be pretty easy to undo an entire week's worth of deficit just in one day if you just go for a complete free-for-all. Whereas if you do more of a refeed approach, now you can divvy up your calories however you want. You can take away some calories for a few days, you can add those calories into another day, and you can balance out your week's calories and allow for some more fun treats into your diet occasionally. I also strongly recommend you incorporate diet breaks into your cut phase. This is where you eat around maintenance for a week or two and just allow yourself to have some more food. This is not only going to allow you to enjoy your diet more, but also it's going to help with keeping your hormones in a better spot, your metabolism in a better spot. It's going to refuel your glycogen, so you're gonna perform better and have more energy. Now, with all that being said, there's one thing that most people really struggle with. This has probably been you, and that's sugar and worrying about insulin spikes. We've all been told our whole life that sugar is the devil and it causes all kinds of problems. It's the reason for obesity. But here's the thing. Research actually shows none of that is true, and I can go into a lot of detail, but I've actually already done that. So I want you to check out this video up top next, and this can help even more with creating a healthy relationship with food. So check that out next, and I'll see you in the next video.